Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Keeping It Real with J2. I'm Jenny, your Get Stuff Done coach, PG version in case little ears are nearby. And joining me as always is my business bestie and resident results Sherpa, Jenny. If busyness burned calories, I'd be a supermodel. And if stress counted as steps, my watch would be buzzing at me to hydrate and sit down. But here's the truth no one wants to admit busy isn't a badge of honor, it's a bypass. It's the easiest way to look successful while avoiding the moves that actually create success, the ones that take vulnerability, risk, and visibility. We're wired for survival. Run from tigers, hunt when we're hungry, not to manage 150 digital check boxes before noon. Yet here we are convincing ourselves that checking every box means we're winning at business. That's a lie because those lists aren't long by accident, they're long on purpose. We keep filling them with stuff that feels safe but doesn't actually move the needle.
Somewhere along the way, we made busy the new quote unquote enough. It's like the universal merit badge for entrepreneurs, efficient and exhausted. So today we're going to burn that badge. I know the Girl Scout in me is like really
What,
sad
what,
right
what?
now, but
No, we're burning the badge. We're
we're
burning the
burning it.
badge.
Yes. We're walking you through 5 things to delete from your to do list right now. Not so you do less for the sake of doing less, but so you can finally do what matters the most. So let's get into it.
The first thing you need to delete from your to do list are shoulds. I should post on Instagram. I should post on TikTok. I should. Stop shoulding on yourself. Every should drips with judgment. I'm not good enough. I'm behind. I owe someone something. It's the emotional equivalent of carrying a backpack of guilt around your office. Look, shoulds are no good. They are just no good. If you say should, drop it. Drop
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. This one is easy. If you are reading through your to do list and you feel that should energy, and we're all very familiar with it,
Yes.
this is an easy one to say, okay, I'm going to let this one go because shoulds usually come from some sort of comparison or
Mhm.
fear that I need to do what the guru who looks successful says. That's the comparison, or the fear of I need to do all these things because I might miss out on the one thing that would create the result that I want. So a should is an easy signal to say that doesn't match up with what I actually want.
Right. And it doesn't pass our earn filter. And we talked all about that in a previous episode. It keeps you operating from other people's expectations instead of your focus goal. The
Yeah.
antidote is curiosity. Do I actually want this? Or do I think I'm supposed to?
Mm.
Wants are where motivation and sustainability meet. They create traction instead of resistance. So delete the shoulds from your time, energy, and focus, reflect your values, not your guilt. There, my soapbox is over.
I was going to say, would you like me to elevate you to the platform? We're
It's
passionate
passionate.
about
Yeah.
this because we do this to ourselves constantly. And it's so ingrained in our way of thinking. We want to belong. Bottom
Yeah.
line, as human beings, we want to belong. We want to be part of the tribe, right?
Yeah. Because if you're not, you get left behind and you get eaten by the puma.
And that's
So,
where should show up. Oh, I need to do this to belong, to signal to everyone else that I'm doing the right thing.
defined by who?
Defined by who? And
Yeah.
again, we're very passionate about leveraging the strengths, the talents, your want. That's what's inherent in the want is that, ooh, I like doing this. And that's why it's a key component of the earn filter is that, hey, this thing that I'm choosing to do is aligned with who I am. So it's like decluttering your closet. Don't
Yeah.
keep anything that doesn't fit who you are right now. Let it
Yeah.
go. Let it
Let it
go.
go. Let it go.
So the
Yes.
second one that we recommend that you take off your to-do list is a bunch of to-dos without any understanding of how it's going to get you the result that you want.
Yes. Yes.
So we have a task, but it doesn't tie back to the result. And what we found is that most of us don't have an actual time problem. We have a clarity problem. Your list says create content, but why? Maybe it's to drive engagement or book coffee chats. So when you change your task, your to do from create content to post one story that drives DMs, you're shifting from that busy, undefined task into something that's purposeful and driving you towards a result.
Yeah. One of the practices that I lean into, especially when I'm feeling overwhelmed or I've got so much to do, I mean, we're as human as everybody else. When I look at a task that's written down, I declare the result that I'm striving for in order to get that task done. And that's what we're talking about here is if I'm posting, why am I posting? That already gives your mind direction. Instead of this vague, it's whatever I feel like in the moment or whatever, giving it clear direction. This is where I'm headed. And I know when it's done, right? Otherwise, you're just looping and still doing.
Right. And because you're tying it to a result that you want, you're creating the data points that you need to understand what truly moves the needle. I think posting is a great example, or even sending your newsletter, thinking about what do you want the reader, the
Mhm.
person who's consuming that content that you're creating to do, to think, to act. And so if your list just includes a bunch of like, write 3 posts for LinkedIn,
Yes.
but why? But why?
Mhm, mhm,
And
mhm.
so that is the question you have to keep asking yourself when you're looking at the long to-do list. Otherwise, your list becomes this collection of things that feel good. They're in your comfort zone. You're moving, but there's no movement forward. There's no measurement.
That's right. That's right. So when you're able to name the result for each task, feel it in your body. I mean, like that deep exhale when you finally check something off that mattered. And when you tie a result to a task, it matters, right? And I think we need to address a little bit about earn one more time in case this is new to people. Jenny, this is your baby, so I'll let you dive
Yeah.
into that.
Yeah. So each letter in EARN stands for a filter in which we look at our tasks. And so E is essential to progress. Is this task required to move me towards the result that I'm going to create?
Not
It,
should.
not, not a should. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Is it aligned with me, with who I am? And that gets at your talents, your strengths, your capacity, your energy, all of those pieces. Does it reduce friction? So by doing this, am I removing other extra steps? Am I making it easier down the road for myself? And is there a noticeable impact? If I do this action consistently, will I see something happen?
Mhm.
So those are
Yeah.
the 4 components of Earn, and we'll link it in the show notes. You can download our 12 question checklist,
Mhm.
super easy to go through your own tasks. But this helps you claim the result you're trying to create, the outcome, and filter through your tasks to really put that lens on, does it deserve to be on my to-do list? Because I think we just write things down as they come to our mind in the
Mhm.
moment, oh yeah, I got to do that, without filtering through, does this actually take me to where I want to go, or is this just busy work?
Yeah. How many times have we built something and it's like, wait, 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 what's the goal? What are we trying to do here? Because we can go off on very different tangents. Okay. So I'm going to get on my soapbox again. Stop checking email and social media all day. Stop. You cannot tap into your potential if you're constantly in reaction mode. In today's super connected world, it's easy to fall into this trap of thinking you need to consistently check your email and social media. You think you're staying on top of things, but you're just staying on edge. Every notification is a tiny jolt of, oh my God, what now, to your nervous system. That constant refresh loop is like feeding your brain junk food and wondering why you're so damn tired at the end of the day. Check your inbox like you do laundry in batches, not like it's oxygen. So I personally check my email in the morning and I check social in the afternoon. And I have yet to have anyone ever call me out that their comment needed immediate triage. Right?
Right. And we're going to date ourselves. This is a new phenomenon. Having those constant notifications, that
Mm,
instant access to each other. And so when we're constantly checking things, we're splitting our focus. Research has shown it takes time to bring yourself back to the task for that momentary, oh, someone
yeah.
posted a comment on my post this morning, or someone sent me a DM. So you're breaking that momentum. So by creating those guardrails, like you mentioned, Jenny, of saying, I only check email at this time, I only pop into social media and check things at this time, you're constraining that and preserving your energy and your focus and your attention.
Yes, I have to tell you a story. I don't think I've ever shared this with you before, but when my husband first opened his business eons ago, when his phone went off in the middle of the night, I mean, I'm talking like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, that man would pop out of bed to check his emails. And I'm like, what are you doing? Whoever makes these sounds and stuff, they've spent a lot of money to know the exact sound that triggers the dopamine that we're craving. And guys, it's just a distraction. It really is. It's safer to go check an email, scroll through social than to DM somebody or to ask somebody on a call or whatever the thing is that you're trying to avoid and get that quick dopamine hit. Email and social will get you there. Yes, we do need to check our email. And yes, we do need to get on social and we need to scroll on social. But we need to set up some boundaries so we don't start on social. And before you know it, it's the end of the day. And you're like, oh my goodness, I haven't even stopped to eat lunch yet. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to say this in my corporate job to the people that I managed. Like, getting to inbox zero does not impress me at all. We're not paying you to get to inbox zero. It's a
Yeah.
faux sense of progress. I responded to all this stuff super quickly, but you didn't move the things that actually create the results in your business forward. This is the quintessential running on the hamster wheel. There's always going to be more
Yeah.
emails. There's always going to be more
Always.
posts on social media. And
Same as
so,
there's always going to be more laundry, there's always going to be more dirty dishes. It's a never ending cycle. So stop, stop.
because bottom line, every refresh,
Yes.
responding to a notification costs you.
Mhm.
So you need to protect your focus like a mama bear protects her cubs.
Yes, yes, yes.
Number four, my personal nemesis.
Yes, this is you.
We've talked about this before, the burrito problem.
Yes.
Listing out a project instead of a defined action step. Like I've talked about before, it makes sense. Our brains like shortcuts. It likes to categorize and generalize things. And so it's really easy to, when you're writing out that to-do list, write out build website. But you
Yeah.
might as well have written climb Mount Everest before lunch. You can't,
Twice.
yeah, you can't check off
Twice.
a mountain in one sitting. You're not climbing Everest in one day. You're also not building your website in one day. You need to break out the steps.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you're setting yourself up for defeat in advance. And when you break down the action steps, it becomes doable. And I think the biggest thing about the projects trap is your brain has to think about what the first step is. So it interrupts any momentum. It makes it harder to get into motion. And the more unfamiliar you are with what that first step is, the less likely you are to actually overcome the inertia of not doing anything. You're going to just skip over it because it feels too big or ambiguous. So scan through that to-do list. And if you're noticing like, oh, this feels like a big multi-step project, you need to, at a minimum, list out the first step or two that you're going to take so that you can tell your brain that it's doable.
Yeah. So my nemesis, I am much better at breaking down the steps. But when I start noticing myself saying, why is this taking so long? I thought this would only take me 50 minutes or 2 hours or something. Why is this taking so long? It's normally because there's more steps in that task. And great example for me is we have a planner that is available to you guys, but we also do one for our clients. And I used to write, due next month's planner. And I'm like, why is this taking so long? Well, because that sparks our power moves, it sparks our weekly shift, our podcast, our what we're telling our client. There was a lot involved. And then I'd break it down and it's still, why is this taking so long? So that is my trigger to stop and say, okay, have I combined too many steps into this one line task that I think can get done? So
Yeah.
yeah, projects really masquerade as tasks, guarantee a failure to launch, while small actionable steps trigger the countdown to real results.
Yeah. Yeah.
And number 5, your someday items. You can't stay I have gotten all the venting ones today, I think.
Well, I feel like we're pretty passionate about not just
Yeah.
accepting your to-do list as the things that you have to do,
Yeah,
quote
yeah,
unquote,
yeah. Right,
right?
right, right.
It's turning a critical eye towards your to-do list instead of just
Yes,
rewriting and rewriting the same things
yes.
again and again without examining why they're still on your list. And this is a perfect item.
Yeah. So we have things that we call Sunday items, and it's all the Sunday stuff. Someday I'll do this. Someday I'll do this. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the things that have been hanging out on your to do list since 2022. The ones you rewrite every week, or maybe even every day. Maybe next month I'll have time for this. Look, make yourself a parking lot. These Sunday items just clog your system. It's mental clutter. It's pretending to be potential. And it's just another moment to give yourself a, I can't ever get to these things, right? If it's not part of your 12-week focus goal, park it. Park it in an ideal vault, a parking lot, not on your to do list. Carrying it forward does not make it happen. It just makes you feel bad. That's
Right.
all it does. It brings up guilt and indecision. So clearing them creates white space for what actually matters in this season. So letting go of it is an act of trust, a trust in yourself, in your process, your data, and your future self. Get those someday items off of your to do list.
Yeah, we are idea people. I
Mm.
mean, if you started a business, you can think of 10 ideas before you get out of bed in the morning, right? Of
Are
things
you in
that
my
you
head in the
want
morning?
to do or would be cool, or wouldn't it be, oh, like
Yeah.
I could take this to the next level. But our time and energy is finite. And so that's why we only allow our clients to pick one business goal to work towards, because it is so easy to spin yourself up in all the ideas that you have. Again, choose to go 12 inches in one direction instead of 1 inch in 12 directions. And so
Yes.
by moving the someday things, getting clear, okay, yes, this is a thing I could do. Maybe I even want to do it, but right now is not the time, and putting it somewhere safe that you can tell your brain, I got that. When it pops in
Mhm.
your brain again to be added on next week's to-do list, you're like, that's in the parking lot. That's in the idea vault. We'll revisit that at the end of this quarter, at the end of this month to decide, does this actually move into the to-do list, the action status?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
last piece is a bonus.
Yes. This is one of my favorite things to do, Jenny. You know me and my planning.
Yes, you are the planning queen. I look up to you as a model of someone that I could be like someday.
Well, it's the difference in our personalities. I crave a lot of structure. It's harder for me to have a lot of wiggle room where you lean more into more wiggle room. It doesn't mean that my way's right and your way's wrong. It's just we know that we're different. But one of the things that I love, love, love to do is I quit planning in the morning and I started planning today. And the way that I do that is every night before I shut down, I spend about 15 minutes setting up tomorrow, and it literally only takes 15 minutes. So I'll send those last minute messages, I'll gather what I need, close my laptop, knowing I won't wake up to decision fatigue. This small habit keeps me focused, and I give my brain the opportunity to work on it all night back in the background. So now my mornings smell like coffee and clarity instead of, oh my God, look at this to-do list. What am I going to do today?
And as much as we are different, like what you said resonates, because you are
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely correct. Neuroscience says when we prime our brains with whatever it is we're going to do next tomorrow, it's working on it in the background. I always think about if I end a day with a really like frustrating, thorny problem, it's
yeah. Hmm.
amazing when I come back in the morning
Mm,
and how much faster I'm able to like just get
yeah.
into action and knock it out. And so I do mine a little bit differently. The first group of actions that I'm doing each day is the same, and I leverage our power hours in the morning, and that is podcast related work.
Mhm.
So it's a bucket of tasks, but my brain knows like what is the
Yeah.
things that I'm going to do instead of the whole list of things that I could do in a day.
Yeah.
So for each person, this might look a little bit different, but
Yes.
how can you prime yourself to
Hmm.
get into action right away and take advantage of the fact that your brain's going to be working on things in the background while you sleep? So might as
Yeah.
well use it to your advantage.
Right. Yeah.
So here's the bottom line. We cannot say this enough, and very passionate about it. Your worth isn't measured by how much you do. Your
No.
success isn't measured by how many boxes you check off every day. It is measured by how aligned the actions you take are with what actually matters to you, no one
Mhm.
else, to
No one
you.
else. Sing
So,
it, sister.
so productivity isn't about squeezing more things in. It's about finishing what moves you forward. You can write 30 posts for social media, but if you never actually post them, nothing's
Yeah.
happening.
No.
And We're going to delete what doesn't move us forward. And that's been the whole focus of this discussion. So we want you to grab your to-do list, delete one task that feels like a should or a
Mhm.
have to. Skip one mindless scroll today, or catch yourself mid scroll and be like,
Yeah.
no.
Okay. Yeah.
And park one of those someday items. Move it off the to do list. That's your progress. That's mastery in motion.
Because busy doesn't build your business, focus does. And burnout doesn't earn you credibility, it just drains your genius. So go ahead, light that to do list on fire. Okay, metaphorically, please. Keep the work that fuels your goals and let the rest go up in smoke. Thanks for hanging out with us on Keeping It Real with J2, even though it was a little more of a ranty version. But again, like Jenny said, we are very passionate about this because we tie so much worth to how much we get done. So if this hits home, share it with your favorite recovering overachiever. Stop chasing busy and start creating results. Join us inside Power Hour Club. That's where we turn plans into progress and get shit done grind free. Okay, next week we are dropping our next Get Shit Done power move. And guys, this one is going to change how we set goals in 2026. It's going to be your awesome moments and future you goal prep for 2026. You don't want to miss it because this is a moment everything changes if you let it. Bye, guys.